Hello, everyone, and welcome to TV Talks, the show where I take a look at both the good and the bad of what television has to offer. Cartoon Network was in a very dark spot in 2009, as we discussed last time. CN Real was everywhere, all over the advertisements, all over the schedule, no new cartoons. And the cartoons that did premiere were all acquired programming like League of Super Evil. With the exception of Total Drama Island, they were not successes. Despite the fact 16 was a huge success in Canada, it bombed over here in the States. League of Super Evil was ridiculed to here and back. And so, desperate for anything to help save the network, Cartoon Network went on a massive search for cartoons. And then they found something. An old pilot that was cast aside by Nickelodeon twice. It was created by a guy named Pendleton Ward, and he was here at Cartoon Network to make sure that his show got greenlit. Cartoon Network said yes immediately, and then what they got was one of the biggest hits ever, and one that helped reshape the network and pull it out of its slump. That cartoon was Adventure Time! Yes, Adventure Time, one of the biggest hits Cartoon Network has ever known. The one to single-handedly slay CN Real and bring Cartoon Network back with the help of regular show, which we will get to tomorrow. Adventure Time was everywhere, right even before it premiered, with all those ads with that kid dressed up as Finn saying, "What time is it? What time is it? What time is it?" The network promoting it all the time on their channel and their website. It was everywhere. You couldn't get away from it. And then when it finally premiered, it was an immediate success. And Cartoon Network looked at it and said, we need more stuff like this and less stuff like Bobby Says or Destroy, Build, Destroy. This and regular show were credited with saving Cartoon Network. And rightly so. After this, they got things like Steven Universe, The Amazing World of Gumball, Clarence, and everything that was not live action, with the exception of a couple live action shows there, but they didn't do very well, and they were axed out pretty much immediately. Now that I've even got more than one season. What is Adventure Time about? It's about a boy named Finn, he's a human, and another guy named Jake, he's a dog, with stretching powers, and then they go on adventures. That's pretty much it. They live in this post-apocalyptic land called Ooo, which is just spelled with 3 O's. Their friends are Princess Bubblegum, the head of the Candy Kingdom, Marceline the vampire, BMO the video game console, and they often battle enemies like the Ice King, who's a crazy old wizard man who tries to get himself a girlfriend by kidnapping princesses over the land of Ooo, or the Lich, some sort of mysterious demon thing that has an intricate backstory, but we probably won't find that out for about another 5, 6, 7 seasons. Also, Prisma was there. What captured people about Adventure Time was the fact that its animation style was unlike anything they'd ever seen. It was simplistic yet vibrant. The art and the settings were really diverse. No place looked the same. All the character designs were original and unique looking. So right out of the gate, it looked unlike anything else they've ever seen. And it also felt like it too. Finn and Jake talk like real people, not like characters on a show. They actually feel like genuine friends in real life, just kind of chilling and hanging around and talking like actual people do. The characters were very charismatic. Finn with his love for adventure, Jake with his wise sage wisdom yet extreme quirkiness, Ice King's complete insanity and energy, but still with a kind of sympathetic side to him, Marceline's coolness, Bubblegum's sophistication, and somewhat level of craziness. And these made for some really exciting adventures. Things like Finn and Jake trying to stop the Ice King a whole bunch of times. A bunch of zombie businessmen who come to life and try to serve Finn and Jake. Jake stretching himself into oblivion. Finn and Jake going into some alternate farmland future to stop the evil demon known as the Lich. Early on, Adventure Time was a lot of fun, consistent, non-stop excitement and energy. It always kept you on your toes because you never knew what you were going to get. Maybe you got some kind of action-packed drama thrill ride. Maybe you were going to get some kind of quirky, stay-at-home, chill fun fest. Or maybe you were just going to get a laugh riot. You'd never know with this show. It would give you something new basically every week. And that's what made it stick. That's what made it so popular. For a while. Adventure Time was not built to last, as we'd found out. In Season 6, Pendleton Ward stepped aside, and it showed. Adventure Time lost its fun factor. A lot of those fun times we'd see with Finn and Jake just chilling out or talking like bros or just having overall fun, quirky, stay-at-home adventures were kind of replaced with either deep psychological studies that really were kind of obvious and blank Or my favorite, the episodes that just have no point to them and are just kind of there. Adventure Time lost whatever made it special, its fun spontaneity. Sure, they still had that kind of snappy dialogue and they had the fun animation, but the episodes were just kind of bland. There was no sense of drive to it anymore. There was no sense of punch. And then there was also the fact that the story it was trying to tell was basically non-existent anymore. Because over time we've been getting some stuff about who the Ice King used to be and what happened to Ooh to make it turn out this way. But when we got the character named Betty, everybody kind of realized what was going on with the story arcs, even right from the beginning. They'd introduce something in a story arc, and then maybe about a season or two later they'd touch back up on it. Or they would introduce an arc, have a few episodes go by where it's not even mentioned, and then they resolve it in one episode. For example, there's an episode where Jake's girlfriend, Lady Rainicorn, gets pregnant. So then a whole bunch of episodes go by and none of that's even mentioned, and then one day she just gives birth and then they grew up in that same episode and that's it. Sure, the kids appear from time to time again, but it was kind of sloppy writing. Adventure Time took a huge ratings hit after this, but Cartoon Network kept believing in it. They kept renewing it. They kept going forward with it. Although they never promoted it and they did relegate it to terrible time slots because the other things were on, like, I don't know, Teen Titans Go. Cartoon Network knew that it had to finish the story it had to tell, because even though the fandom was rapidly shrinking, those who were still there were loyal to Adventure Time. Right up there to the very end. Which, when the finale was announced, there was some sort of renewed interest in it, like, yeah, I remember that show being really good. Yeah, I remember watching it back in the day, back when it had guts. So let's go ahead and watch it! And so the finale was on, and it got mixed reception. I did not like it. I mean, I will admit I didn't really watch Adventure Time after, say, Season 7. I just kind of zoned out after a bit, but I did keep up with what was happening. I just didn't watch the episodes up until this review, where I watched key ones here and there. Then I watched the season beforehand that built up the whole Great Gumball War, which amounts to nothing. There's the whole Galb thing, where it's... I guess they were trying to do something like Weirdmageddon did in Gravity Falls, but it really kind of came out of nowhere. I know Galb was mentioned here and there, but still, it really came out of nowhere. A lot of the emotion just kind of felt blank and dry, like they were trying to resolve too many things at once. The animation was still fun, though. But that's about it. It didn't end off on a strong note, and if even big Adventure Time fans like Pie Guy Rules can admit that the finale was very weak, yeah, there's something wrong there. Still, a lot of people loved it, though, and a lot of people are still clamoring for a Shermie and whoever that was spin-off. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I'd watch it, because I think Adventure Time's kind of run its course. I think it's fine the way it is. You know, being really good, then kind of dipping a bit, but still, it had a really strong aspect in the cartoon community. And again, it helped save Cartoon Network from a fate worse than death. Poorly made teenage live-action shows. So for that reason alone, I'd give it the Archibald seal of approval, but because it also has a bunch of other qualities to it, despite the fact it did sink away later on, I still would be happy to give this the Archibald seal of approval. What'd you guys think of Adventure Time? Comment below, let me know. Did you prefer this or regular show? Did you watch it when it first came out? What'd you think of the finale? Or what else about Adventure Time you can think of? Comment below, let me know. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the final day of Wishlist Week 2018.
Good night, everybody!